Hello, we're the Nostalgia Critic critics. We watch Nostalgia Critic so you don't have to. Today, in this very special episode, we watched a very important film that connects directly to the lore of the Nostalgia Critic, Kickassia. So, Aidan, what is the plot of Kickassia?
In Kickassia, the Channel Awesome crew, which includes people such as the Nostalgia Critic, fucking Cinema Snob, Jew Warrior the Pedophile, Angry Joe,
Nostalgia Chick.
Nostalgia Chick,
Spoonie.
Linkara, Spoonie, the whole gang is there.
And a bunch of people.
A bunch of nobodies. They decide to take over a micronation called Molassia that's in the middle of Nevada, I guess. And then they take it over, and then Doug is being a douchebag, and so they overthrow him. That pretty much sums up the whole hour and a half miserable experience. So, Connor, what did you think of Kickassia?
Kickassia was a horrible, long web video. I won't call it a film because it's not really a film. I mean, originally it was released in parts, so I guess it's feature length. It's an hour and a half, but it's really just Doug and friends screeching for an hour and a half.
In the desert.
In the desert, they just run around screaming, basically. And then there's like a series of skits about various things, like everybody's role there. They all meet in a hotel room. You can see people in the background are blatantly like bored because they're not the focus of the scene and have nothing important to do, but Doug's making them sit there for hours while he tries to say his 2 lines of dialogue. So it's like
Nostalgia
you can see people
Chick.
like texting. Nostalgia Chick is texting in one scene.
Nostalgia Chick becomes a parody of Sarah Palin.
Right, she basically is the vice president. She's like the second most important just because she's Nostalgia Chick. It's kind of an interesting thing to watch in retrospect because none of these people are with Doug still. So it's kind of weird.
It's not none, it's just almost none. Wait.
Who's with him still? Cinema Snob isn't. Linkara I don't believe is.
Shit. Yeah, Larry Bundy Jr. is not in this one, so I guess no one.
Yeah.
Jew Oreos might technically still be with Channel Awesome. I don't think they kicked
I don't
him
think
out
he
after
even
he
was
brained
when he
himself.
fucking died.
Was he?
I don't think so. That was like 2013 or 14 that he killed himself. I'm not sure for 100% positive. I remember I watched Jew Wario, and it was like he did like import game reviews, but I don't remember if he was with Channel Awesome. As long as I was subscribed to him, which was like 6 months before he killed himself, he kind of just didn't really do much with Channel Awesome that I can recall. But
Also, the Hobo Doug character shows up.
Hobo Doug, I think 5 Second Film Doug, or whatever the glasses Doug is, Board James shows up.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like a huge web crossover that for some reason Doug was convinced should be feature length for some reason.
Yep.
But aside from a very flimsy plot, it's pretty much skit after skit. The acting's pretty bad. Doug gives no one anything to do except him, Spoonie to an extent, Nostalgia Chick to an extent,
Cinema Snob.
Cinema Snob to an extent, and everyone else is just there to scream.
Yep,
Oh,
pretty
Angry
much.
Joe.
Everyone else is basically just a cameo. Even Angry
Right.
Joe's just a slightly bigger cameo.
No, I wouldn't even call him a slightly bigger cameo. He's on par with everyone else. He just sits there and fucking screams. There's people that sit there and fucking... Because I think Doug wrote it for the people that he knew would be in the movie, and then everyone else was just invited to come. And he brought him out to be like this like Avengers Endgame of
Well, brought him out is the wrong term
2010
because they had to
critics.
pay for their own airfare and they weren't
Nice.
provided water on the set
Nice.
or food. And filmed like 12-hour days.
Right, because they probably had to do it in 2 days.
Quality production, Doug.
How many days do you think they did it? And it was all shot during the daytime, so...
It's probably 3 or 4, but...
Realistically, they probably started at like 10 and ended at 5.
Yeah.
Where they did like 10 to 10 with all the extra production shit and getting costumes ready and shit. So, realistically, they just shot through the entire fucking day, both days. But it always seemed to be morning. Like, a lot of it seemed to be shot at like afternoon and morning, so. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
The acting was pretty poor. The only two that were remotely okay were Doug and fucking Spoonie. Everyone else was pretty much just
horrendous.
Like there. And Doug kind of just played Nostalgia Critic with like a weird accent. Like he played like a character that would be like a one-off in Nostalgia Critic.
So, if any of them tried to take away what I have, I'm not afraid to go down with the ship.
There's also that green snake thing from season 3. Snake.
Yeah, the guy from the Lost in Space review, the Doug character.
Right.
Whatever
He showed up a few times because I think Doug wanted to make him a character, even though, like, as far as it goes, I don't think he ever showed up again in season 3. So it might have just been while he was filming it, and that was like,
I don't know.
What was popular.
It must have just been.
Or what he wanted to do.
It must have just been like the most recent video when they started filming. He's like,
right.
This is a great idea for cross promotion, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, sitting through this film was fucking tedious, but at least it was doable. I don't know how we're gonna do like a top the fourth wall. I don't know. The characters were pretty bad. I mean, Doug was just Nostalgia Critic /
Well, everyone just played their online
cringy
persona characters, so like Angry Joe is just like
right. And then there was like a PDF man or whatever his name is.
I don't know what the fuck that guy's
the
name
dude
is.
who was like running around as
guy
PDFs
who's like still
at
images
first.
and then he becomes not.
So you're a picture, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty cringe because I'm like, okay, I don't know who this guy is. You have to have like an in-depth knowledge of everyone in Nostalgia Critics camp because like
Yeah.
I know the usual suspects. Like I know the famous ones.
Yeah.
From the time.
The
But
big
then you
ones.
also have the B ones. There's like the fucking, what is it, Movie Brain? He's
Film Brain.
Film Brain, whatever.
Who's now bald and pulls in 2K views
Yeah.
a month.
But like, it was like Film Brain. He was just cringy and loved the Nostalgia Critic. And it was like, everyone kind of just played their own character. There wasn't really a plot behind, except for everybody meets up and
Yeah. I mean, the
that's
two highlights of the movie are basically one, mocking Jew Wario because he's a dead pedophile.
I didn't really mock him that much. I was kind of just bored, and he was such a background character. It was hard to mock the man.
He almost got hit by the toy train though.
Oh yeah,
And then the only actual light of anything in this movie was Spoonie. Spoonie tried. Spoonie's legitimately kind of a funny guy. Spoonie is the smallest amount of light shining through this terrible, terrible mess.
Right. Yeah, I
He's
mean,
the only one with comedic timing or acting talent.
I will say the editing was surprisingly good as far as it goes.
Could've
I
been
mean,
worse.
you can shit on it, but like a lot of movies that,
it's
that are
certainly-
shot on a similar tier are like, that's right. Very good point.
That's fair.
But this one actually was edited to with like the speed you'd expect a movie. The camera work kind of just seems like, I assume Rob Walker was just kind of filming everything. It was pretty like tripod like set up, cut to different locations, set up. There was cinematography didn't exist. It was whatever the natural lighting was. There was no lighting. Whatever lights were provided in the building is what it was. There was no sense of frame to where people are within the space. People kind of were just spread around, and Doug was shot at fucking medium shot at all times or close
Pretty
up.
much.
All the characters were there to basically feed Doug's ego.
See,
They were
there
all
is something to be
pointless,
said
mostly.
about the editing, although I do have to call into question one particular aspect that only comes up a few times. At the start when Doug is making phone calls, and at the end when everyone's trying to bring Santa Christ back to life,
Right.
they have some people who couldn't be there who remote in from their own cameras, and it'll be like some guy filming on his fucking PlayStation Eye, like Christian, and it'll be like butter yellow, and he's like, "We believe in you, Santa Christ."
And now, all the people out there, everyone who ever cared about a treasured icon, We believe in Santa Christ. We believe in Santa Christ.
I believe in Santa Christ.
I believe in Santa Christ.
We believe in Santa Christ.
I believe in Santa Christ.
I believe in Santa Christ.
I believe in Santa Christ.
We believe in Santa Christ.
I 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 believe in... Wait, you want me to say what?
I believe in Santa Christ.
サンタクライストを信じている。
I believe in Santa Christ.
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 I recycle my own semen.
And now, all the people watching at home, come on, say it with us now. We believe in Santa Christ.
At like 115p, like crackly audio.
Yeah, at least I'll say for the parts that were actually... But that's for everything. Even when he's like calling everyone up, you could see that everyone had a worse camera.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have paid attention to aspect ratio to make sure that was actually the same. I assume so, because I think most web cameras, like internet cameras,
If it wasn't the same, there wasn't any like aspect ratio changing, so if it wasn't the same, I assume they just zoomed it in until it was.
Right. But yeah, there was definitely random dips in camera quality, obviously. I really don't consider this a film. I consider it like a prolonged web episode of like Nostalgia Critic, I suppose. He doesn't really critique anything, but
this is what his content eventually becomes. Just long, overdrawn, long skits.
Basically.
With very minimal reference to what he's actually talking about.
I mean, that's basically what this felt like. It was just an hour and a half long Doug Walker skit. I wasn't even angry. I wasn't even bored. I kind of just sat there and I'm like, I guess maybe I'm so used to fucking Doug. Maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome or something. Where I'm just like, okay, this is what I'm sitting through. But anyone not as big of a Doug professional as I've become recently, there's no fucking chance in hell if I was like, hey, let's meet up with the boys and they have no idea who anyone is. I'm like, here's a pretty good fucking movie. Slide the Kickassia DVD in. I'm like, this is great. Don't worry.
You know, I actually found it reasonably watchable. I mean, no doubt that it's terrible. Everyone who acts in it's pretty awful. It's unfunny. But it has a plot, and you can tell some of the people kind of tried. It's more watchable than most Nostalgia Critic episodes, is what I'm saying. That doesn't mean it's good. That's
I mean,
just
half
saying,
of this is just screaming. It's the same shit as a Nostalgia Critic episode. But like, literally half of it's just people screaming and running in a straight line and then being like, oh. And then they're like, no. And then Doug's because everyone's written to be fucking retarded except for Doug. And they'll like scream and run in a line and then he's like, stop! Go after that guy! And then they scream and run in a line.
And at least for 1 second, for like 10 seconds there, we got to see Board James, and my little animal brain was like, oh, something I like. And then it was gone.
Right.
And it went back to being Film Brain and Linkara. I was glad also, one minor note, when they exiled the cinema snob, that was my favorite part of the movie because it meant I didn't have to see him for like 20 minutes.
Never return.
Okay, I'm gonna catch a cab. If anyone needs me, I'll be at the hotel down the street.
Alright.
Yeah, good choice, good choice.
Yeah, that is bizarre. I mean, Cinema, as far as it goes, I guess Cinema Snob was probably one of the better actors in the film. He kind of just sat there. He actually had a role.
He was probably like number 5 out of 40, so.
Right. Yes. I mean, I guess, Aidan, do you have any additional thoughts about Kickassia?
Truthfully, I think we ran through it much. There's not a lot of substance to the movie.
No.
It's a lot of screaming, a lot of dumb skits, and a lot of... it's almost entirely dumb skits. There's the thing with, like, the newscaster guy who's interviewing them all, and he has, like, the fake 30s accent.
Another person keeping up the morale is Spoonie, who is now head officer for science and technology.
Right. And he just like interviews everyone, and they tell some kind of dumb joke. Like they're like, "You're the lead health guy," and he's like, "Oh, my thing was upside down, so I told everyone to smoke cigarettes." It's like, okay, cool. And then they do that like another 6 times
That's
after
probably
that.
the closest thing to a funny skit they had the whole time.
So I mean, really, it's a loose collection of skits with the framework of Doug being a dictator.
It's really hard to tell like what the genre of this film is too. It's supposed to be a comedy, but in the same way, like it feels more like less of like this is an overt comedy because like they did have a lot of jokes they tried to do, but it felt more like it's supposed to somehow add to the lore of Channel Awesome. It feels like a weird like hour and a half Channel Awesome commercial.
I feel like what they were aiming for was to make something kind of like Airplane?
I don't even think Airplane. I think that
maybe
might be a
not
little
Airplane,
far. Because it was less lampooning than Airplane.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Shaun of the Dead.
It kind of felt... Yeah,
was what they were going for.
It kind of
felt
felt
like a dramatic satire.
It kind of felt like a really bad Monty Python knockoff, starring like the Channel Awesome people.
Yeah, I can see
where it's
that.
just like a bunch of dumb jokes loosely tied together with a really simple plot. Except Monty Python works because it's full of funny people. And
I also feel like the
cringy internet reviewers from 15 years ago.
I feel like the fact that Doug tried to convince everybody to come out and shoot this film, like he's like, I need everybody in this film. They could have gutted 90% of this cast. If it was Nostalgia Critic, Nostalgia Chick, Linkara, Spoonie, like the ones we actually knew, you know, Cinema Snob and shit. Like, you don't have these other characters that Doug didn't care about. Because I feel like those people we know about are, like, either made themselves important enough to be at the core of Channel Awesome at the time, or were part of Doug's core nostalgia
circle
lore.
thing.
Like Linkara,
yeah,
fucking Cinema Snob, and Nostalgia Chick are basically, like, extensions to his direct brand, and Spoonie's kind of just there because he was like the next most popular at the time.
Yeah.
But so those people were written for, and everyone else is like, well, if you can show up, that'd be nice because we need like they were basically glorified extras.
Yeah, I feel like less so than actually trying to tell a story. They were trying to one up because this wasn't their first crossover. Their first one was like a handful of Channel Awesome people met in a park and had a fake fight. It was called, like, the Brawl crossover or something. Like, horrendously cringy like that.
Right.
I don't remember. I feel like Doug was like, we need to one-up that, so we can't just have another fight. I think they actually did the fight 2 times before this or something. Maybe it was just 1, but he felt like some horrible need to outdo it by trying to add a story and make it, like, a big comedy thing. And it kind of just blew up in their face because they had no... It doesn't feel like they went in with any kind of plan. It feels like they're like, okay, we'll get this Airbnb, we'll be there for 3 days, we'll shoot some funny things, and then we'll all go home.
Right.
And it's like... The one thing I do want to mention, quick, the Nostalgia Chick being Sarah Palin is very obvious and very dated.
Well, he is a maverick to say the least, but no matter what his decision might be and whatever we disagree on, I still stand right by him.
On what issues do you disagree with?
Well, like our foreign policy experience with Nevada.
You've had foreign policy experience with Nevada.
You betcha.
It's a little cringe. They basically do everything short of calling her Sarah Palin. They're like, you're trying to be the president by pretending you're dumb and being sneaky and a woman. And then she dresses like Sarah Palin and starts doing like a fake Texas accent like Sarah Palin.
Right.
And like they just go out of their way to be like, this is Sarah Palin. This is so modern and relevant and topical. It makes... The movie itself doesn't feel all that dated, like it's retarded. And obviously the quality kind of dates it, but the Sarah Palin jokes make it feel fucking ancient.
I feel like another problem with this movie is they felt the need to like make it like part of the Channel Awesome web universe thing, where it also would have maybe worked better if you
just like
created characters, because like a lot of people were playing characters, but they were also their web persona. Like there was the one scene where he's like, "Wow, my old review station." Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, this is to remind me that this character is actually the Nostalgia Critic. Which aside from
he just acts like M. Bison, which might be a reference to him reviewing Street Fighter, but also it's not what the Nostalgia Critic is normally like.
Right, well just make it a fucking movie and forget about the damn characters, because then everybody has, like a lot of people on Nostalgia Critic, this is back in the day where you had to have your fucking review gimmick. Like the biggest reviewers nowadays are mostly personality driven, but back in the day it was a lot more fucking gimmicks. Like I remember even back in the day watching YouTube at this time, and even people off of Channel Awesome and shit. I mean, you had the cats at Screw Attack, they all had fucking gimmicks. You had fucking Machinima gimmicks. Fucking
everyone wanted to be the
even just the average guy had their own fucking gimmick. So then you have characters like the fucking PDF man. He's got his or not PDF, fucking PNG man.
His name is.
And he's got his fucking gimmick that he has to do.
Yeah, it feels really weird because I've never seen his shit outside of this, but I assume his gimmick in his channels that he's just like still images.
I think honestly, I might have seen one of his videos way back, dude.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I mean, I've been watching YouTube fucking for 12 or 13 years, and I know I've seen at some point that fucking gimmick. Where there's some fucking dude as like a fucking PDF. It's not some shit anyone would be dumb enough to pull today.
The other weird thing is...
But that seems like something that'd fit right in with the Channel Awesome C team.
Even though this is allegedly like a movie, it requires some knowledge of everyone. Like...
Right.
Mostly, a lot of characters you don't really have to know. Like, it's kind of confusing because you're like, why is this guy a fucking still image and who the fuck are all these people? But with Doug, you got like the blue spider guy from the Lost in Space review shows up, and you're gonna have no idea what the fuck that is if you haven't seen every Nostalgia Critic. You'll be like, why is there a fucking
spider guy?
Weird. Why is Doug painted blue sticking out of a portal for some reason? And then like Spoonie, they have him turn into Dr. Insano, and if you don't know the Spoonie lore, then you're just gonna be lost on that, because everyone's like, you used to be that evil guy, and he's like, that was in the past, and if you haven't seen all the Spoonie stuff, you're gonna be like, what the fuck does that even fucking mean? Even when
PDF guy becomes a normal person, he's like touching himself, he's like, I'm fucking human now, and it's all crazy to him. It's like, I don't fucking know who this guy is, and then it'll be like, bear attack, and it's just some fat guy I've never seen before, and then he's like, oh, and it's like, oh, is this his gimmick to talk like a fucking retarded person? And there's the dude with the fucking polar bear fucking stuffed animal.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
What the fuck is going on?
He talks to the stuffed animal, and it like talks back, like badly voiced over. And it's like,
I'm not gonna lie too. In like 2011. Your boy watched some Channel Awesome. Granted, I was 13, so I feel like a lot of the cringe kind of flew over my head.
Okay.
But I remember going to that fucking website and it was impossible to find anyone. Because I remember these people would show up, I'm like, oh, so there's just like more Nostalgia Critic episodes in the 2000 there already are? Might as well watch one of the other people. Then you'd go home and it was like a big ass bar that said like Nostalgia Critic. Then you'd scroll down and it'd be like crossovers. And then it was like fucking goddamn Pornhub where there's 2,000 fucking categories.
Well, that was actually
and you gotta pick what fucking category you want, and then it would be like, then it's like, what subcategory do you want? And then you click the damn subcategory, and there's one guy sitting in there. I'm like, you guys got 20 creators.
That was a big part of that big document that came out a few years back where they revealed that Jew Wario was a pedo and the Indian guy was a pedo and all that.
Right.
A big thing was all the creators were pissed because like the Channel Awesome website, there'd be like 15 pages devoted to Doug, and then to get to like fucking Todd in the Shadows videos, you'd have to go through like 15 sub-menus and like solve complex riddles. It'd be like fucking Doug would come on to live stream and like read you riddles, and if you couldn't get them, you wouldn't get Todd in the Shadow videos.
But even when you click them, because God, who was it that I watched? I watched one of the video. I think I might have found Jew Wario on there and then found out he quit and was on YouTube because I subscribed to Jew Wario.
Possible.
But I remember, I'm pretty sure, if memory serves me right, once you click the people, then it would just be like blue text list of all their series. Then you had to click the series and then you could search through episodes. And if it was like a dead series, you'd click it and it's like 2 episodes and you're like, how am I supposed to get into this person if I'm not actually, if I had to like click through all their shit and be like, well, this one has a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
This must be a series. And there wasn't like a feed either, like a subscription feed or something. It was like if I wanted to figure out what fucking
Film
Brain was up to, I'd have to click Film Brain, go into his thing, click and be like, oh, he made a new episode. He made 5 new episodes. It was a pain in the ass. So I remember even then, like I couldn't even. I think I kept up with the new Doug episodes for a while, but then I was like, no. And that's when I quit watching Doug because I don't think he was even on YouTube. I don't think he was on YouTube until at least demo reel. I mean, I know he was on it, then left it, but I don't think he really updated. Because Cinemassacre and Red Letter Media used to do the same shit back in the day, where you had to go on their fucking external website. Yeah. At least like RLM's website was pretty good, because I remember it was like half in the bag, and then the Plinkett reviews, and then you still had to scroll down the fucking page and load up every Blip TV.
Cinemassacre was a little messy, but at least it was functional. But fucking Doug's website
but
was
Cinemassacre.
never functional.
Back in the day, I mean, his was pretty easy because you went to the scroll down, and yeah, you had to look through all like the text boxes, but at least it would be like AVGN. It was somewhat sorted for his main series.
Yeah.
Although they hit off Monster Madness, which was annoying. God, just talking about this old internet. Now everyone just dumps shit on YouTube, and if you have over 1,000 subscribers, you can get away with uploading any bullshit without consequence.
Yeah. Well,
those were the fucking days, man. I remember before that when you could just watch any movie in 20 fucking parts back in like 2000.
Spider-Man 3 was on YouTube for years.
Dude, it was on YouTube so long. This is after the 10-minute rule, when you could do unlimited length uploads. And it was, for a while, it was just like some fucking guy uploaded all 3 fucking Spider-Man.
No, I remember.
I
remember one time we watched Spider-Man 3 on YouTube and we had to leave it paused to buffer for like 3 hours, and then halfway through it started freezing up and we had to pause it again.
Right, that's what it would be like. But someone literally just ripped the fucking MP4 and uploaded it to YouTube with like a fucking thumbnail that looked official as fuck, and it'd be just like Spider-Man 2000.
Yep.
Like it looked like the legit fucking you would see like now for like the rentals, but it's just some fucking guy.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sure the thumbnail will look like shit, but I don't really remember. It's like 2010 or 11 or something.
Probably just like the poster, just like cropped to be thumbnail size.
Probably not even cropped. It's probably just the fucking poster with the black bars on the side. Dude, that's what it was back in the day. It didn't matter.
It was a better time.
Dude, now YouTube's up the ante. You can't be pulling this bullshit you could way back when. I miss those days.
The Wild West YouTube.
Dude, back when... Dude, you know those are gone now. Because I remember back in the day, it didn't matter what TV show you wanted to watch. You looked it up, you looked up the specific episode, and then part 1, and you watched the shit in 3 to 6 parts.
Yeah, it'd be like SpongeBob Season 5, Episode 3, Part 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You couldn't get away with that bullshit since, like, fucking...
Yeah, Viacom sucks, but, you know.
Not just Viacom. Well, Viacom were, like, the first one.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in the day, that goddamn toy review dude, Mike Toy Reviews
Mike
or whatever.
Mozart?
Yeah,
I actually looked him up the other day.
Heard about it.
This review is a little naughty. If you're Amish, you might not want to watch it, because I'm showing a toy exactly how it was designed and sold to children.
Interesting.
The guy who's like, this fucking thing looks like a butt plug, and then he's like, I'm going to anally insert it just to try.
Because
he
doesn't make YouTube anymore, but he's still on Twitter, and Emp Lemon tweeted about him and said, does anybody remember Mike Mozart? And then Mike Mozart somehow found that and started following him.
Sweet. Dude, I miss Mike Mozart. That dude had a crazy...
Fail Toys. It looks like Superman sucking a wee-wee. The rabbit poops out M&Ms.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, like, nowadays you can find 1 million people like that. But back in the day, like, you're like, whoa. Like, I bet he actually had, like, Sony Vegas. It wasn't like everyone else back in the day who was rocking on that free Sony Windows Maker or whatever.
Windows Movie Maker.
Windows Movie Maker. I bet this fucking Kickassia was recorded on Windows Movie Maker.
It was probably made in Adobe Premiere or something.
Probably.
Because Doug
has enough
was around
complex
enough.
editing. Yeah. I bet Doug went to film school or one of those fucking clowns
He did. I think both him and his brother did. But both of them.
His parents were probably disappointed. Doug and Rob both going to film school. Like, goddamn. But then somehow they just started making money off of it, and their parents probably couldn't talk
They
shit
came in
anymore.
they came in at the right time. And they leached off the success of AVGN.
Well,
Even
I
if
mean,
they
I'm pretty
weren't
sure
direct
AVGN
clones.
went to film school too. I think
he did.
Dude, that was kind of the trick back in the day. If you had any like editing knowledge, but I do think that was the trick because like back in the day, even like shitty editing was like impressive.
Yeah, I mean, when it came out, AVGN looks pretty laughable now, even in the modern day. Like, not even his old stuff, but like his new stuff. But back in the day, he was the only one doing like
green screen,
and he would have like cutouts of characters that like moved. He'd like make animations and stuff in After Effects.
I mean, you also got to keep in mind how back in the day it would be like whatever they could technically shoot video on, people would just like hold up and like you had one person hold. There wasn't such thing as a goddamn tripod on YouTube till like 2009.
Well, it wasn't. He had tripods. He had special effects. He had green screens. He had decent editing. He also had people who would have dress up in costumes, but also, unlike everyone else who was just pointing their cameras at their screen, he would actually record stuff on VHS tapes and then transfer it to DVDs and then burn it to his computer. Like back before
Dude, and you
capture
know that
cards were
took
widely
fucking
available.
forever at the time too.
Oh, I'm sure. And then he'd edited it. So
I don't
like,
even know if capture cards
relatively,
were much of a thing back then.
I don't think
know
so.
if they even were.
AVGN had
Not in 2004
massive
for sure.
production values back at the
At
time.
least consumer grade.
Like massive for YouTube production values, and now everyone has fucking elaborate sets and fucking 4K consumer cameras and microphone arrays and all that, and Doug is able to just make whatever the fuck he makes. Feature-length movies every single week that are recreations of real feature-length movies.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Connor, would you recommend Kickassia?
I wouldn't to anyone except that specific person that for some reason has recently got into all of the Channel Awesome alumni from 2007 to 2010 and loves every single one of them and doesn't find Doug or them cringy and has incredibly low standards on what a film is and has kept up with all of their videos so they understand the complete Channel Awesome circa 2007 to 2010 lore. If all of that works out for you, then I would recommend the film. But most likely, no. No one should fucking watch this movie. It's more dated. It's impossible to have a movie more dated than this. It's impossible. Because you even look at like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going back into this. But you look at like a Charlie Chaplin movie. Yep. He has common slice of life elements that you can relate to. This movie is Channel Awesome fucking 2007 to 2009 references. Some of these were dated by the time it came out probably. Like that stupid fucking spider worm dug in the fucking blue makeup.
Okay, yeah, yep.
I don't remember what it was supposed to be, but
Dr. something or other.
It just pisses me off because there's no fucking appeal.
Yeah.
But whatever. Aidan, would you recommend this movie?
No, it's god awful. I mean, it certainly is moderately watchable compared to most of the Nostalgia Critic stuff from the era. But at the same time, it's not like... It's not embarrassing enough where it would, like, fit in with, like, watch and cringe. And it's, like, too long to be enjoyed as cringe, because a lot of it is really, really dull. So I'm just gonna have to say give this one a hard pass.
Right. Alright. Join us next time for Season 4 of the Nostalgia Critic.
And then after Season 4, we'll be watching Suburban Nights. That's the name of the second Doug movie.
And then after Suburban Nights, we'll be watching Season 5.
Then after that, we're going to watch Atop the Fourth Wall and also to boldly flee in the same night, back to back. 6 straight hours of Doug. No breaks, no bathroom breaks, no pausing.
And then after that, it's season. It's demo reel. We're watching demo reel.
No. How many episodes of demo reel are there? Like 6?
12.
Oh.
See, I remember even at the time when demo reel started. God damn, I think I might have just watched every YouTube video that's ever come out. Because I remember
Villain Shuffle.
I don't know if I made it to the Supervillain Shuffle. Because what happened was, I remember they had the movie come out. It was 4 hours. I was like, I ain't watching this shit. But then...
You and me watched the first episode of Demo Reel together.
We watched it at Grandma's house.
Because I remember the part where he's making fun of the... what James Bond movie was the most recent one at that time? Skyfall?
Probably. 2012 Skyfall, where Skyfall was going to come out.
No, I think the one we watched was right after Skyfall, because the villain in Skyfall was gay. And he was played by Javier Bardem, I think?
I think so.
With the blonde hair. And they had a skit about that in, like, the first episode. Like, there was, like, 10 minutes devoted to it.
I think the Supervillain Shuffle might have been in the first episode. Maybe he just did a lot of Batman shit.
Yeah.
At that time. Like, he got really into the Christopher Nolan fucking... Yeah, I mean, he really got into the Christopher Nolan trilogy around that time.
Melvin's not part of any series, but do you think we should just watch Melvin real quick and do a super tiny review of it?
Melvin, brother of the Joker.
It'll take like 10 minutes.
I'm the Joker's brother, baby!
we can just make it a mini episode. It's not part of demo reel, but I think it'd be funny to just...
You mean we just review...
Let's just review Melvin real quick.
This can be a 10-second fucking video. That'd be such fucking... We can't spam people too much.
We can just edit it into the end of this one as a bonus feature.
I've seen Melvin. He just says, I'm actually the brother of the Joker. No, it's not gonna happen. I've seen fucking Melvin 1,000 times. There's nothing to review. He just acts like a fucking tard for 10 minutes. It's like a footnote. Here's what we'll do. Instead of making me rewatch this shit I've seen 1,000 fucking times, we'll just put Melvin, brother of the Joker, in its fucking entirety after this. They can watch Melvin. In case anyone needs to be enlightened on Melvin, brother of the Joker, I'll just fucking toss it in here.
Melvin, brother of the Joker. Melvin, brother of the Joker. Melvin, brother of the Joker. I'm cool. Hello, hi, I am Melvin, the brother of the Joker. I'm sure a lot of you haven't heard of me, but I am the brother of, yes, the infamous Joker. You know, why so serious, all that stuff. Actually, I too have been working on my own catchphrase. Sploopity splooch. May not be as catchy, but I think it works. So, yeah. Alright, first of all, I'd like to welcome all the newcomers to my blog. Hello. Hopefully we're going to talk a lot about evil. Lots of nasty, evil. Did I repeat myself? I guess it doesn't matter. Because evil does repeat itself. It's all about getting that massive... I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, okay, so today's secret subject, or not secret, I mean, this is all secret, don't tell anybody, but, today's big subject is ray guns. Now, the thing about ray guns is that they are very, very expensive, as I found out. So what you're gonna want to do, if you want to get a ray gun, there's all sorts of ray guns that you can get. There's laser, there's solar, there's ones that fire bullets. I guess that'd just be a gun. There's a little busy right now. There's the ones that shoot raisins. I haven't seen that as much, but they do exist. I saw it on eBay. What?
I'm thirsty. Make me some hot chocolate.
No, I'm busy.
Busy
I'm
doing
busy.
what?
That's my secretary. She is very, very evil indeed.
Why haven't you taken out the garbage yet?
Mom, please don't annoy
Well,
me!
then keep it down, Melvin.
No, I have to do this, Mom!
Keep it down. I'm trying to watch Columbo marries Matlock.
I will try to keep it down, Mother.
What?
Okay?
I didn't hear you.
I said I will try to keep it down!
Oh, you're hurting my ears, Melvin. You're hurting my ears.
So anyway.
Such a failure.
Mom!
Why can't you stop?
I will not stop! I need to do this, Mom! I have people watching!
Wait, I had some hot chocolate the whole time.
Was I?
Isn't that funny?
Ray guns, yes, ray guns. Now, I have someone who is actually working on a ray gun as we speak. And no, it is not my mother. I should probably address that. I do, in fact, live with my mother. I'm not ashamed to say that. I just take a little longer to get going, as opposed to other people. I see no shame in it, even though she constantly does. So, basically, when
it's too hot.
Okay, I just slipped her about 50 Vicodin, so I think we're good. Now, one of the things...
Why is
God, she's like an ox.
spinning?
Okay, I just slipped a whole packet of NyQuil into her milk. She's gonna take a little nap now. So, yeah, ray guns. I see a lot of villains using them, but, let's be honest, people. You don't need them. What is it that a laser gun can do that a normal gun can't do? Destroy cities, sure, but if you get a gun that's big enough, it could do that. I don't know where you'd buy the bullets, but I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure they are out there. Massive, massive bullets. Okay, maybe a ray gun would be a very, very good thing to get. I don't know. But I do not have the money for some. I've been debating whether or not how to, I've been thinking how to get some bullets. Not bullets. God, my mind, I just can't. I'm sorry, I just been under a lot of stress, you know. I still haven't gotten a job, you know. What am I talking about? Evil's my job, yes, because I am Melvin, the brother of the Joker. And
Melvin.
She woke up, my God, how did she wake up?
Melvin.
I'll help you in a minute, Mom! So, yeah, ray guns, I don't see the necessity of them.
Such a failure.
Mom! So, I do not see the necessity, but I will somehow get one. Actually, I have a friend who was actually building me one. He works at Circuit City. I think I will just give him a call right now. It's ringing. Hey, B, how you doing? Melvin. Melvin Pothorn. The brother of the Joker? Yeah, that's right. I didn't think you'd forget me. So, yeah, how's our ray gun doing there? Uh-huh. Well, what, I see. Well, does it still shoot lasers like we thought? Oh. Well, how large is it? 2 inches, so that's like, that can fit in my pocket. It's not really a gun, that's more of a toy. Well, what does it fire? Fires cashews. Well, that's not going to be very threatening to the hero, is it? No, it is not. I don't care if the hero is allergic to nuts. That's not going to work. Okay. Calm down. Not talking to you. I'm talking to me. No, I didn't mean to yell at you. No. Do you really want me to sing it now? Alright. There's a place all over the world tonight. We will see each other all throughout the night. Out of sight. Okay, so I can't remember the words, alright? I don't care. You know what? I don't care. I am evil and I'm going to destroy you. With or without your cashew gun. Goodbye. No, goodbye. Yeah, I'll see you Tuesday. Kids! So yeah, I'm realizing this wasn't a very good beginning blog, if you would. But my guess is that the next ones are going to be better, because I'm going to do a lot more robbing, a lot more stealing of things, and maybe, just maybe, I might pant somebody. Maybe a certain somebody with pointed ears and wears all black. That's right, the human ant. I'm gonna get him. Yeah. Okay, human ant, he's not as big as someone like Batman or Superman, but he is still a very impressive superhero. I mean, I don't think it matters that he lives right next door to me. I think that's still very, very impressive. I know a superhero that can obliterate... No, not obliterate, that's what I do. That can save people from me obliterating the world. Yes, yes, that is very impressive. I'm sure that's a lot better than half the people you know. So, just to reiterate, ray guns, waste of time. The human ant is my arch nemesis. God, I can't talk today. I think that's it. This will be the first of many evilness that will be coming. So, again, this is Melvin, brother of the Joker, signing off, and Mom!
Come kiss me goodnight.
Yeah, I'm coming, Mom. I'm coming. Melvin, Melvin, brother of the Joker. Melvin, Melvin, brother of the Joker. Melvin, Melvin, brother of the Joker. I'm cool.
Wow, wasn't Melvin and Brother of the Joker exciting? Now let's show you another very good Batman clip from Doug Walker. This one goes by no introduction. One of many Fresh Prince of Bel-Air cover songs that feature the Dark Knight trilogy, because cringe. Here's Melvin, Brother of the Joker. I'll fucking throw in the damn Joker, Fresh Prince of Joker, or whatever the fuck that stupid video was.
Well, the Supervillain Shuffle is
It's not even a Doug video.
The Supervillain Shuffle is in demo reel, so we're gonna get to that eventually.
No, I'm putting it in here. I'm also putting that stupid other one in, too.
Forget it. Forget it. It's not gonna happen. There's no way it can work. It's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. We're not doing the Supervillain Shuffle!
I am Ra's al Ghul, and I'm here to say no inflection in your voice is A-OK. With the League of Shadows, I'll make Gotham fall. I have several identities, all of them dull.
I am Harvey Dent, and my face is bent. My evil motivation makes little sense. I was a nice guy, but now I'm deranged, determining my future on the back of change. My attitude can turn on the flip of a dime. Boy, I tell you, this deal's getting worse all the time.
I am Dr. Crane, totally insane, and I only have a few lines in the movie, so next.
Now this is a story all about how my frown got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, don't go too far. I'm gonna tell you a little story about how I got these scars. My daddy was a drinker. My wife, she liked to gamble. My dog's a plastic surgeon. Please stop me if I ramble. My plans are so detailed, it's like I see into the future. I'm a ball-busting, bat-bashing, gangster money moocher.
Word! I quit.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit there, son. I'll tell you how I became the menacing Joker of Gotham. Well, no idea where I was born or raised. An asylum is where I spent most of my days. Spazzing out, skits and laughing all cool, and all digging my way out with the stolen tool. When a couple of guards caught me out of my bed, I stabbed them in the face and now they're kinda dead. Broke out of Arthur, man, Gotham's where I went. They found nothing in my pockets except knives and lint. Evening, Commissioner. I just want to be the guy who's fun and feared. And if I may say, I really dig the beard. Everyone points and calls me delirious, but I just laugh and ask, why so serious? Well, I broke out some cellmates and set them free, and I told them they were all just freaks, like me. If they wanted to destroy Gotham, there's just one plan. It's obvious, the only way to kill the Batman. I destroyed half of Gotham by 2 or 3, and I yelled to the Batman, come on, hit me! looked at Gotham as it all laid in waste. Come on, Babin, let's put a smile on that face.
Where Joker goes around the city as
The Fresh Prince of Gotham.
The Fresh Prince of Gotham, dude. That's a fucking 2008 fucking classic, dude. God.
Okay.
I don't know why I got so upset about
That was our
the
review of
Joker.
Kickassia. Thanks for watching.
R.I.P. Jew Wario.